Fast-moving world of premium credit cards. Staying informed isn't just, smart. It's really essential. Especially when a card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, one so many people rely on, makes some pretty big changes. For a lot of you, this card's been a key part of your travel and rewards strategy. And what we're seeing now, well, these aren't small adjustments. They're significant updates that could genuinely change how you approach your spending and travel plans. And that's really the mission for this deep dive. We've gone through the sources you sent, those detail articles from solid financial and travel sites. Our goal here is simple: distill the most crucial bits of information. We want to cut through the noise, help you connect the dots, understand what these changes actually mean for you. Doesn't matter if you've had the card for years and are wondering what to do next, or if you've just been thinking about getting it.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here, I think, is that these aren't just random tweaks. They feel very connected. You can almost see the strategy behind them from Chase. So our mission today, yeah, it's about going beyond just listing the fee increases or the new perks. We really want to get into the deeper implications. How do the higher fees, the different earning rates, those new benefits, how do they all fit together and potentially impact your wallet? And maybe even more importantly, your whole travel strategy. It's about seeing the bigger picture and asking, well, why is Chase doing this now?
All right, let's dive straight into the one change that probably grabbed everyone's attention first: the annual fee. It's usually the first thing people look at, and yeah, for good reason this time. It's a pretty big jump. The main card's annual fee, it's leaping from $550 up to $795. That's quite substantial. And if you have authorized users, well, their fee's going up too, from $75 to $195 each. Those numbers definitely make you stop and think, don't they? Yeah, they do. And it's really important we pin down the timing on this fee hike. For new applicants, people getting the card for the first time, that $795 fee starts June 23, 2025. So if you're thinking about applying soon, keep that date in mind for your budget. But, and this is maybe some good news, or at least a bit of a delay, for current card holders, you'll actually keep paying your current fee until your first renewal date that falls after October 26th, 2025. That means many of you listening have a decent window, maybe well over a year, to really evaluate everything before that higher fee hits your statement. Time to decide if it still makes sense for you.
Right, that buffer period is key. And running alongside that fee increase is a really interesting shift in how you redeem points. Specifically, this new thing they're calling the points boost redemption. Historically, the Reserve gave you a flat 1.5 cents per point for travel booked through the Chase portal. Pretty
Right.
straightforward. Now, with this points boost, there's potential to get up to 2 cents per point.
Yeah.
But, and this is important, it's only on selected flights and hotels booked via Chase Travel. That's a nice potential jump in value, like 33% more on those specific bookings. But it does raise the question of how easy it is to actually get that boosted rate.
That's a really good point. When you say selected flights and hotels, how selective are we talking? Is it something you can easily find and use regularly to hit that 2 cents per point? Or is there, a catch? Like, are those boosted options sometimes priced higher than booking elsewhere, maybe canceling out some of the extra point value?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Chase definitely wants you using their portal. That's clear. Generally, the word is that the bookings eligible for the boost are competitive, but yeah, you have to book through Chase Travel. It's their way of keeping you in their ecosystem. But here's the other side of the coin. For any non-boost redemptions through the portal, and for things like cashback or gift cards, the value drops back to just 1 cent per point. That's quite a difference from the old flat 1.5 cents that applied more broadly to travel redemptions. Now, importantly, for existing points you earned before October 26, 2025, Chase is giving you a grace period. Those points will get the best available rate, either the old 1.5 cents or the new points boost, if applicable, right through October 26, 2027. That's a generous 2-year window to use up your old stash under the better terms. Thinking about all this, it really makes you consider, how do you typically redeem your points? Are you a portal user or do you transfer to partners? Your strategy might need tweaking.
Absolutely. That redemption strategy is going to be key for getting max value. Okay, so redemption is changing, but how you earn points is also getting a major shakeup. This could affect your reward potential just as much, maybe even more, depending on your spending. Chase has updated several earning categories, and some of the changes are pretty stark compared to before.
Right. So if you book through the Chase Travel portal now, you'll earn 8x points. That's a mix compared to before. It used to be 5x on flights and 10x on hotels and cars through the portal. So now it's just a flat, high 8x rate there. For flights and hotels booked directly with the airline or hotel, so outside the portal, that's now 4x points. That's actually an increase from the old 3x. Dining stays the same, thankfully for many, still a solid 3x points. But here's where it gets really interesting, or maybe concerning for some: all other travel. This category, which includes things like Airbnb, train tickets, Ubers, cruises, it now earns just 1x point. That's a big drop from 3x before, a huge shift in what gets rewarded.
Indeed. That other travel changed to 1x. That's not subtle. If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's a clear signal. Chase is really pushing you to book travel either directly through their portal, where they get a cut in data, or directly with major airlines and hotels. By making their portal the top earner, they're not just giving points. They're trying to capture more of your spending data, build stronger ties with those big travel partners, maybe compete harder with sites like Expedia or Booking.com. This isn't just points, it's about market strategy. So yeah, if you're someone who relies heavily on platforms like Airbnb, or maybe you travel often by train or use local tour operators,
Yeah.
that part of your spending just got way less rewarding with this card.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If I'm someone who maybe loves finding unique places on Airbnb or takes trains between cities when traveling in Europe or uses ride shares a lot, that spending, which used to get a decent 3x points, now gets the baseline 1x.
Exactly.
Wow, it really feels like they're trying to nudge us, maybe even push us towards booking travel in a very specific way.
Absolutely. Your own spending habits, your travel preferences, they're absolutely central here. Look, if you're already someone who books most flights and hotels direct, or you're happy using the Chase portal, these new rates might actually be great for you. That 4x direct and 8x portal are strong. But if a big chunk of your travel budget goes to things now in that 1x other travel bucket, well, the card's earning power for you just took a significant hit. You really need to look at your own patterns. Do these new rates work for you, or do they work against you? You might need to rethink things, maybe even use a different card for those 1x categories now.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, beyond points earning and burning, let's talk perks and credits, because these are clearly meant to help justify that higher annual fee, and some of them look pretty valuable if they fit how you live and spend. We've got two big new statement credits. First, there's $500 a year for booking luxury hotels through something called The Edit. Just to clarify, The Edit is Chase's own collection of high-end hotels. Booking through there gets you this credit, plus maybe other perks like upgrades or breakfast. And that $500 is split into two $250 credits per year, which adds a little flexibility. Then there's another $300 a year in statement credits for dining at specific restaurants booked via Open Table's exclusive tables. Again, to clarify, exclusive tables are like special reservation slots or dining experiences at usually popular, hard to get into restaurants, often available only to certain cardholders. This $300 credit is also split, this time into two $150 halves. And there's more lifestyle stuff too. Credits for Apple TV Plus and Apple Music, Peloton credits good if you use that, and a $300 annual credit for entertainment tickets bought through StubHub or via GoGo. You know, those sites for concerts, sports, theater tickets, these are definitely aimed at adding value, but wow, it does feel like you need a checklist to track them all and see if you're actually coming out ahead, doesn't it?
It really can feel that way. And while these new credits are getting a lot of attention, it's also crucial to remember the existing benefits that are staying put. These are still a core part of the card's value. You still get that very broad $300 annual travel credit. Super flexible, easy to use on almost any travel purchase. That's still there. The Global Entry or TSA pre-check fee credit, still there. Huge time saver at the airport. And really important for many, the lounge access is still excellent. You get into the Sapphire lounges, plus that big network of over 1,300 Priority Pass lounges globally. Still a major perk. So when you look at this whole package, the new credits and the ones that are sticking around, the big question for you listening is, how many of these genuinely match up with how you already spend your money and live your life? Are they things you'd use anyway, or would you have to go out of your way, maybe spend more, just to use the credit? That's the key.
Good point. Now, just a couple of other things to quickly cover. First, the card itself is getting a facelift. They say it's a sleeker metal design, feels heavier, more premium, with some kind of engraved gem pattern. Nice, I guess, if you care about how your card looks and feels. But maybe more strategically important, especially for some listeners, is the new business version, the Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business. That launches June 23rd, 2025. It'll have similar kinds of benefits, but crucially tailored more towards business expenses with specific business credits. That's a whole new option for entrepreneurs. And this is a really big deal for serious points players. The eligibility rules are changing. Starting June 23rd, you'll be able to hold both the Sapphire Reserve and the Sapphire Preferred at the same time. That wasn't allowed before because of Chase's One Sapphire rule. Plus, they say bonus eligibility will be clear when you apply. Honestly, this changes the game. For years, you had to choose one or the other. Now you could potentially combine them. That opens up a lot of new strategies.
Oh, absolutely. That rule change about holding both cards, that alone is huge for people who've been mapping out card strategies. It allows for much more flexibility. Okay, so just to quickly recap the timeline so everyone's clear, June 23, 2025, that's the big day. New fees for new applicants, new earning rates kick in, points boost starts for everyone. Then October 26, 2025, that's when existing cardholders get access to all the new perks and credits. And it's also the date after which your first account renewal will come with that new $795 annual fee. So, as you said, there's some lead time to figure things out.
Okay, so we've covered the fees, the points, the perks, the timeline. Which brings us to the main question for you, listening right now. Is the Chase Sapphire Reserve still worth it for you? Should you think about getting it? Or if you have it, maybe downgrade it? Let's try to frame the yes case. You should probably lean towards getting it or keeping it if you see yourself really using what it rewards now. That means lots of travel, especially booked direct or through the portal, plenty of dining out, potentially using those luxury hotel bookings via the edit, using the streaming Peloton entertainment credits. Basically, if you add it all up and you can realistically use enough credits and earn enough points to feel like you're getting well over that $795 fee back in value, then yeah, it could still be a powerhouse card for you. Chase's own math suggests you could get around $2,700 in value per year if you really maximize everything.
Right. That's the if you maximize it scenario. Now, for the maybe not or time to downgrade scenario, well, if that $795 fee just feels like too much for your budget, regardless of the potential value back, that's a perfectly valid reason to reconsider. Or if your travel style heavily involves things now in the devalued 1X category, lots of Airbnb, train travel, things like that, the card just lost a lot of its earning punch for you. And critically, if those new lifestyle perks that the fancy hotel credits, the exclusive dining, the Apple, Peloton, StubHub stuff, if those just don't fit how you live, if you wouldn't naturally use them, then they aren't really providing you any value to offset the fee. It's like if you already stay in luxury hotels booked that way, great, it's down money. If you don't, it's just a feature on paper.
It's interesting, seeing Chase double down on their own portal in these specific books, while some competitors, like maybe Amex Platinum, offer a perhaps broader, maybe more scattered set of credits, different strategies playing out. So what does this all mean for you? At the end of the day, the card's value is incredibly personal.
It really boils down to how you specifically use its features. It's not just about the list of benefits, but about what you will actually redeem and take advantage of to make that high fee worthwhile.
That really is the bottom line, isn't it? Navigating these big card changes, it's all about matching the card's benefits as they evolve with your own personal spending, your travel habits, your lifestyle. These Chase Sapphire Reserve updates are a perfect example of why you need to keep an eye on things. Regularly reassess if the cards in your wallet are still working hard for you. Don't just assume the value is still there.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. When big changes like this happen, it's more than just crunching numbers. It's a really good opportunity to pause and think about your own needs and goals. How are they changing? As you look at everything we've discussed about the Sapphire Reserve today, how do these updates make you feel about your current credit card strategy? Do they confirm you're on the right track, challenge you to adapt, or maybe even signal that it's time to explore a completely different approach for the year ahead?